and it's like end of year giving season. Giving Tuesday, that's the name of it, is around the corner. So I wanted to touch base briefly on a little bit related to fundraising. But before we do that, I'm just going to give folks a couple minutes to show up, and then we will get going. So if you're with me in the recording, you can just skip forward to minute, probably one minute and a half. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds live. And then, so if you're watching this replay recording, just skip on over to that minute and a half mark. And that is where we will officially begin. Whoo-wee! For those of you just joining me now, I'm Sarah Olivieri, and we're going to be talking about how to stop losing donors. Flip side of that coin is how to keep donors. What a busy season for folks. We just had this crazy election. It's Thanksgiving here in the U.S. Holidays are coming up in all sorts of ways. We've got strange weather patterns going on, all sorts of stuff. All right, let's get started. Hello, nonprofit leaders. I am wondering if you are reaching out to donors during fundraising campaigns. Maybe you've got an end of year campaign going on. Maybe you're doing Giving Tuesday. Maybe you're watching or listening to this sometime in the future and you're doing some other campaign. Today, I want to talk to you about the issues around inconsistent communication when it comes to bringing in donors. The most important thing to remember about building your donor base, building your base of funding from donors, is that your donors and you are in this symbiotic relationship. They get this amazing feeling of being able to say, I helped make that happen, or I am participating in helping that happen. I am making a meaningful contribution to the world by donating to this nonprofit who is either already doing something amazing or is about to be doing something that I really care about that's amazing. So here is one of the mistakes I see a lot of nonprofits making. They think of their relationship with their donors as a transactional relationship. And then what happens is they only reach out to their donors during fundraising campaigns. So if you're working on fundraising campaigns right now, if you're making those end of year asks or some other ask related to your organization, you should be asking people who you have a really good established relationship that is not just based on asking them for money, but is about communicating with them and sharing your successes, your failures, your hopes, and your dreams. If they are giving at a larger level, there's probably some more investment level tactical conversations about how you're going to be spending significant amounts of money to achieve something significant and meaningful, mostly because those folks want to know basically that you're not wasting their money, that you have a good plan for it, not because they want to control the nitty-gritty of it. So, big mistake is to only reach out to your donors when you are running a campaign asking for money. So what we want to do instead is we want to have consistent communication with our donors that spans the year, spans the months, right? Some of that communication should be when we're asking them, but sometimes we should be when we're asking them for money, but sometimes we might ask them for their opinion. Sometimes we might ask them how they're doing. Sometimes we might be sharing information about how things are going. We might be sharing the results of some data. We might be sharing some anecdotal results. We might be sharing a challenge, right? There are a lot of donors who kind of have that desire to be a helper, a hero of sorts. Heroes don't want to solve problems that are already solved. They want to hear that you have a problem that they can help you solve, right? So we need to have all these types of communications in our communications with our donors. I'll leave you with a thought. Have you ever heard of the phrase, don't be a rainy day friend, or just anything about a rainy day friend, right? That's a friend that is basically only there when they need your help, right? Only there when it's bad. So don't be a rainy day friend with your donors. I think that's what that saying means. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I'm not the best with sayings. I'm always getting them mixed up. But hopefully the concept is clear here, right? Have a full relationship with your donors. And when it is then time to have a campaign around asking for donations, you will see that by asking those people who have established relationships with, that are more than just transactional relationships, they will give. And for those people who are new, you don't have that relationship with yet, you can leave them out of those big campaigns and come back to them on the next one. And that is how, by sending consistent communication, regular updates to your supporters, you can dramatically increase giving. Now, I'll give you a bonus tip, since some of you might be feeling overwhelmed with how do we do consistent communication. And I teach this to my clients in the Thrive program. And in the Thrive program, they learn this method for running nonprofits. I teach them. It's called the impact method. And in part of that method, we have a weekly staff meeting that's called an issues meeting. And the issues meeting starts out with the staff sharing any headlines, anything that's kind of newsworthy, good or bad, in their organization, and any issues that are coming up. So here's the hack to send out regular communications. The executive director or development director out of that meeting can pick 1, 2, or 3 headlines or issues and send them out in a quick, varnished, we don't need a graphic design email, a quick note from the executive director or whoever it is saying, hey, Sarah here in our, just had an update from our staff and I wanted to share it with you. Here are 2 big wins that our nonprofit had this week. And here's one challenge we're facing. Thank you so much for being on the journey with us. Sincerely, Sarah. P.S. You can give a gift anytime, or here are 3 ways to do so. Way 1, make a donation now. Way 2, set up a recurring donation or increase your recurring donation. Way 3, think of us in your will and send me an email if you're interested in learning more about how to make a legacy gift, for example. That's all I have for you today. It is such a pleasure and honor to be here to support nonprofit leaders, and in my continuing efforts to do so, I am also the host, as you know, of the Inspired Nonprofit Leadership podcast, and I deliver tips like this to your inbox, your email inbox, through the Inspired Nonprofit Leadership newsletter, which you can access at inspirednonprofitleadership.com/sign up. If you are interested in joining the Thrive program and being one of those executive directors who works with me every week on a weekly basis, sometimes multiple times a week, to move your organization forward, you can express your interest in that by going to pivotground.com/application, fill out the very short form, tell me a little bit about yourself. I will review it manually and get back to you. And then the next step after that is to have a meeting to discuss what kind of options are best for you. And if that is the Thrive program, I'll give you all the details on how to get involved with that. Finally, special announcement, because I have recently launched the Board Clarity Club, which is the first board support membership with live support that I know of for board members. You can go to pivotground.com/board-clarity to learn more about that. It is a very reasonably priced club where you will get access to training modules for your board, as well as a monthly Q&A call with me where your board members or any leadership team member can come and ask questions about all things related to nonprofit boards. It is such a valuable resource and a no-brainer price of $97 a month right now. So I hope I will see you in there. And as it would happen, our first live board Q&A call is happening on Giving Tuesday, December 3rd. Until next time, all the best.